Nobody in Kansas City wants to see Chris Jones leave. His contract is up. Here he is speaking yesterday at the rally before the horrible thing that we talked about last hour occurred.
I need 3 of those things, baby. We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. Kansas City, we will be back here next year. And for those who want Chris Jones gone, I ain't going nowhere, baby. I will be here this year, next year, and the year after. 3P, 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 3P.
I want someone to hold on to
that's
the way that Mahomes is holding on to Chris Jones. That's just beautiful.
That was revealing. And I'm going to need a still frame of what we just saw in a second, but there was something revealing in what he said. I'm going to be here this year, the next year, and the year after that. It tells me that maybe they're already working out a 3-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
To be that specific, I'm going to be here this year, next year, and the year after. And hey, Minnesota Vikings, not that you're in the similar situation because, the Chiefs now have 4 of the things of which you have none, but the Vikings are kind of screwing around with Kirk Cousins and waiting to see what else is out there. You want to keep Kirk Cousins, you should move. And I get the impression when Jones says, I'm going to be here this year, next year, and the year after, I'm getting the impression, my spider sense is telling me that it's just a matter of time before we find out he has a deal. And they're going to get the deal done before his agents can go to Indianapolis and have somebody else make their pitch, like Jim Harbaugh. I've had this weird feeling Jim Harbaugh is going to overpay Chris Jones to, number 1, hurt the Chiefs, and number 2, help his new team. Smart move by the Chiefs. If you want to keep this guy, open the checkbook right now. And when he says this year, next year, and the year after, I think that that's the clue. And also, can we bring up the photo? There is a very important Keller on that jacket that is not part of the Chiefs' traditional color scheme. I don't think that's officially licensed because green is very important to Chris Jones, as it should be. This is his last chance to get paid. He doesn't have many years left in a body that gets banged around constantly as a defensive tackle. He ain't playing until he's 40. This is it. This is his chance to get the money he deserves. And when he said, one more time, just so we're clear, this year, next year, the year after, the clue is there. They've already made significant progress toward getting a deal done.
Yeah. Well, also, look at Mahomes' pants there, man. Can't hide money, right? My gosh, between those two guys, they've already got a lot of it. I think when you talk about money. Chris Jones,
can't hide money.
Exactly. Yeah, not trying to. I wish I were at that level. But when you have two guys in Mahomes and Jones, right, and a guy like Chris Jones, to me, I think of Cam Hayward as Mr. Steeler. To me, between Travis Kelce and also Chris Jones, those guys are Mr. Chief to me. Seeing Chris Jones in another uniform just would not be right. And there is so much respect between those two sides. And, Andy Reid and Chris Jones, I'm sure most of us have seen that clip of him kind of dogpiling on Chris Jones in the aftermath of the Super Bowl. There's got to be a world in which these two sides get something done. Andy Reid talked about it. I think it was on Tuesday that he says he believes that both sides are motivated to get something done between them. And when Chris Jones alludes to a 3-year contract extension, which it would be, I guess, at this point before the new league year, that does make your spidey senses tingle. Also, it's kind of funny that either one of his agents, his agency, whatever, all tweeted hey, cut those mics off. So Jones is kind of getting rid of some of the leverage that he might have there in these negotiations. But look, when a player told me this once a long time ago, when two sides want something to happen, yeah, there you go. Cut them bartenders off. That's what it was. It's too much. Yeah. And that might've been the case. And we're not even talking about Travis Kelce yet. But a player told me once that, if two sides are really motivated to get something done 9 times out of 10, it will. And it seems like that's the case between Kansas City and Chris Jones. So whether it's before free agency, whether it's before the combine, it seems like that's the way the wind is blowing.
Yeah, it sure does. And that's good news for the Chiefs if they do want to get to 3 in a row. And look, that's why it's smart for them to move now. You get him on the back end of the euphoria of winning 2 in a row and the opportunity to be part of something that transcends how many dollars you're able to put in the bank, because he already has more than enough money than he'll need. Not that he shouldn't try to get every dollar. I don't want to play into the owner's game where how much is enough? Don't you have enough money? Well, don't you have enough money, Mr. Guy with a 600-foot yacht? So, yeah, the guy who's out there putting his body on the line, jeopardizing his long-term health, that's the guy that needs to get paid everything he can. But now's the time to maybe get a little bit of a better deal relative to what he would get if he hit the open market. And it sure feels like we're moving in that direction. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.